Hi, everybody. It's really nice to have you here. I'm Lisa Givens.
And I'm Bill Rancic. Welcome to America Now. If your marriage is having trouble, here's a number that will blow your mind. On average, the total cost of a divorce can run up to $20,000 per person.
Here's what you need to know to protect yourself during a divorce.
It's an all too familiar scene. Spouses and their attorneys facing off in a hostile divorce.
You better control him.
And if anyone knows how nasty a divorce can get, it's a private eye like Bruce Robertson.
Well, private investigators give divorce attorneys the ammunition they use when they prosecute a divorce. It can be doing financial investigations and, of course, marital fidelity investigations as well.
Bruce says it's common for divorce PIs to use all sorts of modern technology to dig up dirt. An even more common dirty divorce trick is when an unethical spouse hides assets that belong to both parties and should be divided equally.
The investigator will conduct an asset investigation to find out if they have property that they're not divulging, if they have businesses that they're involved in that they're not disclosing to the other side, and this is a very common request in divorce investigation.
This is CNN.
Gina Gershon wouldn't mind reaching syndication with her new series, Snoops. Gloria Hiller did some investigating herself to see how the show's PIs compare with the real thing.
The office looks like something out of a Tom Clancy novel. It's high-tech and designer clothing on Snoops. Meanwhile, at Tristar Investigations in Los Angeles, it's a little bit slower paced.
You faxed over that case yesterday. These fictional presentations may compress the most interesting cases from an entire year or several years in an investigator's life and compact them into one episode.
At the Glenn Hall Agency, they have a bra cam for undercover work. At TriStar Investigations, it's a pager cam.
Basically just carry this around with you, and while it's on, be recording video of anything that you'd like to record, like, say, for instance, you.
MSNBC. Welcome back to MSNBC's live coverage from Santa Monica, the O.J. Simpson civil trial with my guests here in Santa Monica. Bruce Robertson is an investigator, TriStar Investigations. He researches assets. So if you got any dough, Bruce will find out. Bruce, how much can you find out quickly? Does it require weeks and months, or can you do something in a few days?
Well, you'd prefer to have weeks and months, and in most cases for other types of situations you do. But in these cases, often you're called to do research in a short amount of time, and you can do it. We own some of the databases that need to be searched. Others are available online. Our sources can work 24 hours a day if they need to, and so can we.
We now return to surveillance tech on Modern Marvels. The silicon chip, first developed in 1958, created a whole new world of miniature surveillance.
The video camera has gotten smaller and smaller, and now you have what are called chip cams and pinhole cameras, cameras that are actually the size of a pinhole. One example that we use is called the fanny cam. This pager actually has a minuscule camera lens inside of it, the size of a pinhole. It's located right here in the middle of the pager, and it's actually recording video through that tiny hole. It's a tremendous boon to our ability to watch people and not have them know it.
This is Eyewitness News, the Southland's #1 news at 6.
We get our first look at photos of Elizabeth Smart back home with her grateful family. The man suspected of kidnapping Elizabeth Smart was no stranger to the Smart family. He had been invited into their home, hired to do odd jobs around the house. It's a fact that leaves many people asking the question, do you really know the people you hire to work in your home?
Experts say a background check is a good idea. Had the Smarts checked handyman Mitchell's background, it would have been revealing.
If they had run a check on the individual, they would have found out that, first of all, that he was homeless, his references would not have checked out, and then they would have seen eventually that he had criminal records in his past. So certainly that would have been very important to know.
In November of 2000, an elderly North Hollywood couple hired a worker to install floors in their Valley Glen home. They were found beaten and stabbed to death. Private investigator Robertson warns of the risk of hiring unknown workers, day laborers, even nannies, if they don't check out.
Background check and for a nanny check is usually around $250. very small investment compared to the safety of your children.
Live in Glendale, Micah Ullman reporting ABC 7 Eyewitness News. Back to you.
This is the Emmy Award-winning KTLA Prime News.
Cheating lovers, beware the GPS bug. It can track your every move. Kurt the Cyber Guy puts his high-tech surveillance to the test.
A GPS tracking stick is fast becoming a high-tech tool in the art of catching a fibber.
Today we have technology that people 20 years ago did not have. We have GPS tracking devices. We have pinhole cameras.
Private Eye Bruce Robertson has a war chest of sneaky surveillance gadgetry to create 007 Envy. The tools of the trade are getting smaller and smarter. Global positioning satellites being tapped by suspicious spouses.
With the GPS assistance, we can compact the amount of time that it takes to catch a cheating person. Okay, we're powered on. We're going to secure it inside here. Now you want to get it up somewhere solid. It's over $1,000 device. We don't want to lose it.
New York Daily News columnist Rush and Malloy are reporting that cops out in Los Angeles are concerned that murder suspect Phil Spector may try to skip the country. Bruce, this man, Phil Spector, apparently has a private jet. Either he owns it or it's at his disposal. But the local police say we don't have enough manpower to watch him 24 hours a day. If he flees, we'll catch him. But what if he pulls a Roman Polanski?
Well, first of all, I wouldn't necessarily lend a lot of credence to what the police are saying in public and to what they're actually doing.
Right.
And I wouldn't absolutely be surprised if they didn't have a detail on him. Secondly, this is different than the Roman Polanski case because this is a capital crime. It's extraditable in another country. When Roman Polanski fled the country, he lived above ground and in plain sight because he couldn't be extradited back to the United States.
You know, Bruce, you make a really, really good point about the police saying in public, hey, go ahead and run, we'll catch you, because then maybe they can charge him with two things, fleeing to avoid prosecution. Bruce Robertson, thanks to all of you. Really appreciate your insights.
Coming up, an emotional plea from the parents of a missing teenage girl.
And this message is for Jessica. If you can hear this, just know we love you and please call home.
16-year-old Jessica LaCar was last seen on June 2nd. Her parents say the Chicago area high school sophomore disappeared after she totaled the family car in an accident. They believe she may have been afraid to come home. Private investigator Bruce Robertson says Jessica traveled to California with 17-year-old Simon Southerus, a friend she met at school, who turns out has a criminal background, including assault in California and Illinois.
Yesterday on MySpace, the young man posted a notice saying that he knew we were looking for him and we would never find him. So that raises our concern level.
Well, what a story here. A Chicago area teen missing for more than 2 weeks has been found safe in Arkansas.
Jessica LaCar's back with her parents. Private investigator Bruce Robertson says emails and MySpace website postings led to a farmhouse in Arkansas.
MySpace was a treasure trove of information for us.
Private investigator Bruce Robertson says Jessica LaCar was with a boy named Simon who posted on MySpace that he was headed to Lancaster. He says while Jessica's parents came to L.A. looking for her, the teenagers heard they were wanted and got off a bus in St. Louis.
Started hitchhiking, ended up in Texas at one point, and then eventually to Arkansas. We sent the police there on Saturday. They found Jessica, rescued her, picked her up, brought her back home.